This is, he said, Oga rest. Reinhard Bonnke did miracles before my very eye. Hey, how do you know that a man is doing miracles? How he died. Before we get to how he died, Reinhard Bonnke is an evangelist, a white guy. I think he's a German, but I think he lived in America. He would come to Africa, especially Nigeria, and gather millions of people and do fake miracles. Millions will gather. And it started from, I think, late 90s or early 2000s. I can't remember. He came to Nigeria many times, but his last visit to Nigeria on crusade levels was around 2017. That was the last time he scammed millions. This guy will fill stadiums and streets. I think his highest record was 1.8 million people attended his crusade. Scam. Our people know they use I hear miracle. Once there is fake miracle, expect Nigerians will go full there. Will go full everywhere. I'll tell you how he died. He died at a ripe old age of 79, which is equivalent to 80 years. So if you can reach 80 years on this planet, you've tried though. So I want to get that out of the way. I respect that he was able to get to 80. It's not easy, you know. Then secondly, you need to know that that's the average lifespan in America for men. Well, let's look at how he died. First of all, he got throat cancer. Got cancer on his throat. How did he know it's cancer? Of course, he went to a hospital and sat down gently, and doctor examined everything, scanned everything, took a swab, took it to a test lab and everything before they could conclude that, oh God, this is not a tumor, this is cancer. A whole miracle worker. He did not do miracle. He did not apply oil. Olive oil to cure it. He did not pray abracadabra for it to cure. What of his pastors? None of them prayed for him, for it to be cured. He had to humble himself and stay in the hospital. Now, he was still on the throat cancer issue. He now had a leg problem. So this leg problem, they took him to hospital and doctors did a surgery on his leg. I don't know what they did. I think they replaced one of his bones on his leg or something. And 1 month later, he died. After they replaced the whole thing, he posted on his Facebook that he went through the surgery and he needs prayers and everything. He died, unfortunately. Now that's a painful, unfortunate death. But, you know, being a miracle worker that has been curing people that are on wheelchair. He will come to Nigeria, mount on stage, do abracadabra. People on wheelchair will start walking. This guy even said that he raised a dead man before. Brought one boy and said the guy was dead. All of a sudden, the guy is now alive. Like, abracadabra every time. I wonder how many Nigerians, millions every time. When he fell sick, he went to hospital for surgery. Think about it. Think about it. This is God, right? This is pastor. This is doctor. So when people get to doctor and a sickness cannot be treated, they get to pastor, right? Now think about it. The pastor himself now falls sick. Instead of going to other pastors or to God, he went to doctor. That's to show you that it's fake. The miracles are fake. All those rising of dead people, lame people walking, blind seeing, is fake. Because when he came to the one he needed it most, which is his body, he couldn't do it on himself. Okay, since he can't do it on himself, what of his pastors? What of the junior pastors? The one thing he did was hand over his ministry to a younger pastor before he died. He announced he's handing over. He can't run the ministry again. He was old, you know. So that was one thing he did. Okay, why can't that junior pastor pray for him? That means the junior pastor himself, his miracles are fake too. What of all those pastors he used to come to Nigeria with that will mount on stage, help put together the crusade, and all of them are fake? Their miracles are fake. Otherwise, they would have prayed for him and he would suddenly stand up and start walking. Do you know how many people that have died because of fake miracle? Some people will be sick. Instead of their family to take them to hospital so that doctor will treat them, they will take them to church. Pastor will lay hands and tell them they are healed. They will not go to hospital again. That sickness will eventually turn to stroke and kill them. Or do something, get to the worst stage. Some cancer will get to stage 4 before the person will be wheeled to hospital. But when it was at stage 1, stage 2, the person is buying olive oil from church and applying on it, wearing church apron. Fake miracle has ended the lives of many Africans. People don't understand. It's not until it happens to you that you understand. Somebody will be sick, you'll be telling the person, get to hospital, they will not go. They will take that money and go and sow seed in church, thinking they are healed. Or a doctor will write prescription for the person. Take 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 in the morning. Madam, you're about to die. Take this until your body recovers. She will carry it and throw it under the bed and go to a church and be sleeping in the church house, sweeping, become an usher, thinking that becoming an usher will help you. Do you understand? Many people are due for surgery, but they will not go because what? They believe they will be spiritually healed. What of women that will be in the theater? Madam will be bleeding, the children will be turning in the stomach, it's time to deliver, but the umbilical cord tied the neck of the child. They are telling the madam, you need to do surgery. And she's saying no. No. I want to deliver like Hebrew woman. I want to deliver like Hebrew woman. Do you know the fertility of people in Israel today? Do you know? Israel has 2.9 births. That's about 3 births per woman today. These are Hebrews, in quote, that you want to deliver like. But in Africa, the fertility rate of each African woman on the average is 5.6 births. That's almost 6 children. So African men and women are the most fertile women on earth. African women are very, very fertile. It's about 6 children per woman fertility rate. But in Hebrew, is now 3 per woman. Now you have an African woman praying to deliver like a Hebrew woman instead of going to do surgery. Before you know it, the woman will die. Some people, is their church. Their church will tell them they cannot do blood transfusion in church. This, that. You are dying. You need blood to survive. You are more interested in what your daddy GO says or what your pastor says. You will die. And here's the way the world works. If you die, you will be replaced. That your husband, you are saying that the wife cannot do surgery because church said we cannot do blood transfusion. If the wife died, the husband will marry the next girl in church. And it could be a girl you are better than, your enemy, your opponent that is jealous of your marriage. Your husband will marry her. To shock you. All these things it has cost many lives. So when we are saying that, when we're pointing out fake miracles, it's because we want to save lives. Many people have died. If you are sick, think of what your pastor will do when he himself is sick. Let me tell you, in this country, most men die out of sickness. In the olden days, people will age and age and age. They will not fall sick. I'm telling you. Go to the village. It still happens to today. Except in the last 1 week or 2 weeks of death. In the village, old people don't fall sick. They will be physically fit like this. You understand? Their memory will be intact. If you put music, they will dance music very well. They can still walk. Their knees don't break out. You know? Their voice, everything is... The only thing is that you will see them and they will look old. But forget it. They don't fall sick. Until the last week of their death, before something will just happen and, they'll pass on. It's a modern time in town where people are eating junk food and all this rubbish that people eat. That's where people fall sick years before they die. Once you clock 50 in this country as a man, if high blood pressure not get you, diabetes will get you, or this one will get you, your leg is, your kidney is doing like this, your hand is doing... And it will now continue from 50 to 60. If you make it past 60, you have tried though in Nigeria. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, how can a whole miracle worker that come to Africa to do mad miracle, when he had leg problem, he went to humble himself in front of a doctor. The same doctor that his church, the people he has been praying for in church and crusades, will carry microphone and be talking bad about doctors. Somebody will carry microphone and say, doctor told me it cannot be done. I just applied the oil of the pastor and I'm now healed. Doctor told me that this, doctor, they will be talking about against pastor, doctor. But when your pastor is sick, he will be flown to hospital. There's a man of God in this country that does miracle. He collapsed. They flew him to Turkey immediately. They didn't even take him to any other man of God. They didn't apply his oil on him or his holy water or anything. They flew him to Turkey for treatment.